Hey lovies, this is Michelle here at Life Matcha Tarot. Happy Tuesday, right? Yes, Tuesday. I had to think about it. I'm like, because I have a nail appointment tomorrow. I was like, wait, what's today again? Where I was setting one up for tomorrow and it had to be pushed to Thursday. That's why. So in my mind, I'm like, what's today again? It's Tuesday, but happy Tuesday. Like I said, I hope you guys are doing great. I hope that the work week has been treating you well so far and all that good stuff. And you guys are just on the up and up this week. Um, I checked in with you guys yesterday, so if you want to go check that reading out, that was a pretty fun one. Yeah, there could be a message in there for you guys to, take heed to. Check it out, check it out. And I got my Soli here, the Phoenix Priestess. She just did a really nice reading right before this, and it was funny because like right when I was about to go on, I saw, because I didn't get the notification, but then I saw it as like a suggestion, and then it said like, oh, started I think at that time it was like 19 seconds ago. I was like, I didn't even see her fucking notification, so I was like, let me click on that before I do anything. I clicked on it and it was an amazing reading as always. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, it was right in alignment. So go check my girl out, guys. You will not be disappointed. That's my girl right there. That's my home skillet, my home slice. But yeah, for you guys who are new, as you guys start coming in, welcome. I hope that you like what you see here and decide to stick around and get these messages. Hopefully they resonate and all that good stuff. Just check out the vibes and see what it is, what it be like, what it's hitting for. All right, so with all that said, um, if you're already subscribed and everything, thank you for the continued support. I love you guys, and yeah, welcome back. Thank you for what you guys do to help keep the channel going. Oh my goodness, though, that's like, yeah, that's so funny. Because when I saw you got like getting a little bit teary eyed, I was like, oh shit, I done wore off on her. I feel like I've worn off on some of my people's now with the crying online. It's like, oh, Michelle, you done worn off on me. Like for me to be a freaking fire sign, that is that damn Scorpio placement in my South Node that gets people crying, including myself. Because I'm not a crier. I mean, I am a crier, but like, I hate people seeing me cry. And I would just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna let it out. Yeah, I'm freaking sensitive, man. All right, guys. So let's get started. This is just gonna be a very general message. I felt inclined to go on. Didn't necessarily have any rhyme or reason. Just spirit was like, we're doing this. So I'm like, okay, say less. I do know that earlier when I was on the phone with my girl, my cat knocked this deck over onto the floor. So I was like, huh, I guess we're gonna read from that one today. We'll read from it a little bit later. But yeah, that's the Healing Waters Oracle. So we are gonna start though with the Wisdom Oracle and see what Spirit has to say. Clear some most accurate messages, please, and thank you. We'll do a little mantra before we get started, right, Ronnie Ren? She's got her little blanket over here right next to me, little butt head. I think she might have felt orphaned or something at one point in her life because my gosh, she is so damn needy. I said it to her today. I was like, you're so needy, right? We have Yang here when I split the deck. So that's about like kind of like that catalyst, right? To do something creative, that spark. Maybe you've been through a lot of stuff, but there's something that's been kind of pushing you to, feel more inclined towards a sense of creativity and just finding that spark within yourself when it comes to something that's inspiring you to do something different. No more being in a sulky, like, woe is me kind of energy. We've all been there at least once in our lives, right? Like, no more of that, right? It's giving me that. So we're going to tap in and see what's going on. Spirit, only let positive energy into this reading. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good. Clear some most accurate messages, please, and thank you. All right, so we already split the deck. Let's do some shuffles. And then we'll see what Spirit's got to say. Couple more shuffles. Pentacles. All right. Truth be told, truth be told, you don't have to stay in a sulky, crappy space, right? You have free will. You don't have to. And then the crazy thing is, like the orphaned card that we just saw has a number 5 on it, and there's a number 14 on here. So it's definitely just giving like this energy of, you know, add that up, it adds up to 5. Change in the wind type of thing. It's like you're starting to realize, you know, I don't have to, you know, hold everything in, but I also don't have to stay stuck in my circumstances either. It's giving me that. So the number 5 might be significant, or the number 14 could also be significant for somebody. What do we have here? To be fair, maybe you had to learn like some type of lesson. Karma might have been at play here, but you're starting to learn like, okay, that's fine. um, the scales are balancing, right? You had to learn, you know, the truth about something, maybe. Yeah, all that glitters. Definitely something about like a realization of some sort, where you had to start to realize things for what they really were. Let's see. Let's get like 3 cards from here. I'm getting the power of 3. Unless Spirit tells me otherwise. 3 and 4 has been kind of like the amount of cards that they've been having me pull lately. Spilled out. Yep, there's that 5 energy again. 50. No place like home. No place like home. Being able to, you know, be in a place of peace and balance and harmony where you are. Not having to rely on other things or other people to make you feel at home. Just being comfortable where you're at, you know. And when you start to see things for what it is, you don't have to, wow, that number 5 is showing up like crazy throughout this reading. We have soulmates here on the bottom of the deck. Yes, maybe, you know, for some people it could have been like something that had to do with a home dynamic, where you realize this is not a safe space for me, and you created your own safe space is what I'm getting for some. We have exchanging gifts here on the top of the deck. 27 on there, 9, but 9 is giving me more like independence. So maybe for a long time there was like a sense of like I'm getting, this is what I'm getting, transactional, how can I put it, that transactional back and forth within connections, where everything was just like very like just to the point, this is what we do, and it is what it is, and you just maybe got used to that. That seems very, very specific. That's not going to be for everybody. And you might have thought you had like a really strong, true connection with said person, and realized, no, you didn't. Yeah, the higher power might have had to redirect you on that. But yeah, I was picking up on transactional. Like everything had to be like, you know, you do this, I do that. You do this, I do that. Not just like just being truly there for one another. Does that make sense? So it is giving me a little bit of a love reading vibe, maybe. We'll see. We're going to keep going. Tell us more. What else does the collective need to know and see at this time for their highest good spirit? Yeah, I'm getting like it maybe started to feel so transactional that it almost became one-sided. Does that make sense? It's like on one end, yeah, like there was like the equal give and take, but it wasn't in a sense of like truly being loving and there for each other. It was more like pragmatic is what I'm getting. There wasn't much emotion tied in. It was just like, oh, you know, well, that person, you know, they pay all the bills, I guess I'm gonna lay on my back. Like, you know, not trying to be funny or anything, but this is what I'm picking up on. It could have been something like that. Not for everybody, obviously, but it could have been something kind of like that. And maybe you guys had to realize, okay, this is not really what I want in my relationship. I really want it to be a true, you know, equal give and take. And I might express this, and this person doesn't really listen to me, and now it feels like it's just one-sided. Therefore, it feels transactional, and I don't want that. It's giving me something like that. seems very specific. That does not seem like it's going to resonate with everybody, though. But that's what I'm picking up on so far. So again, creating your own safe space and, you know, getting that sense of independence, focusing on self. That's what I'm picking up on so far. Serendipity, just wanting to be happy. Just wanting to be happy. It's giving like 9 of Cups vibes with that. It's 18 on there, but that adds up to 9, so it's kind of giving like 9 of Cups vibes to me. If we were reading from the tarot, yeah, another 9 energy here. Come to the edge. Doing things different, right? Understanding like I don't have to stay here if I don't want to. I could do something different. You know, there could have been a lot of chaos and conflict within the dynamic that, you know, especially within the home where you're like, yeah, nah, I can't do that no more. You know, but you're also too blessed to be stressed, honey. Like you're like, I'm not about to sit here and allow that to be the thing that holds me back or dictates, you know, my happiness is what I'm getting. All right, let's get one more from here. We're gonna keep this reading very short tonight, or at least in comparison to how long I make them usually. Let's get one more from here. Thank you. Milk and honey, yes. Coming into your milk and honey. Coming into, you know, the cream of the crop kind of thing. Like you worked really hard to get here, right? To focus on your overall happiness. There's like that rainbow energy there too. It's like, you know, after a storm comes a rainbow. You had to go through some things to get there. And I definitely was picking up on like a sense of like redirection and stuff like that too. Hey Blessings, what's up girl? Hey girl, hey. We have a leg up here. So it's like, you know, maybe your circumstances kind of allowed for you to feel a sense of almost like an advantage for some. You know, maybe you've already been working on like a sense of preparation for whatever this is, or, you know, what is coming. Unfinished symphony. So for some of you guys, you're still kind of going through this. It's not quite there yet, but you're working towards it. Yeah. So now it could just be a more of an energy of, you know, taking a leap, right? Coming to the edge again is here. Like, I do feel drawn to one more card from here, Spirit. Let's get one more. Regeneration, yeah. So there's definitely also this energy of healing, right? Working on yourself first, because, you know, it's kind of giving almost like Phoenix vibes too. Check out my girl, the Phoenix Priestess. But yeah, like coming out of the ashes, right? You know, coming from a place of ruin and being able to bring yourself back up and back together again, right? After realizing that you need a partnership that allows for you to have a true energy of equal give and take, not something that just looks good on paper. Yeah, happy. Definitely working on that energy of happiness. I like that for you. It's giving me like a little bit of a like, almost like childlike innocence. Like it might be very different and new for you when it starts to come in, but it is this energy of, you know, focusing on that at this time. That's what I'm getting. All right, what we got? Yeah, as you start to recognize the things that are not for you, you're like, okay, yep, I'm not going to stay in situations that make me feel like, again, it's very pragmatic and one-sided and all that. Like, no. Like, what am I really getting out of this? Let's turn on the light. But yeah, like, what are you really getting out of it that allows for you to be in a place where you feel like you're being poured into as well? That's what I'm getting. Like I said, I am mostly getting like this could be a romantic, but it doesn't have to be. So just take the messages as they resonate. But the reason why I'm picking up on that is because of the cards that came out so far, especially like with the, you know, no place like home energy and all that. And then we had like got some other stuff that was given like love. Man, what are you doing over there? Sneezing like crazy. Is there confirmation there? All right. Hey Cairo, how are you? Good evening. Hope you're doing great. All right, let's see. Yeah, but you're sailing on, moving on. You're not staying there. You're like, I'm not staying in a place that keeps me feeling like I'm in a place of ruin. What the hell do I look like? Hey girl, hey. I got Southbound here, which means it's two of my favorite people up in the building. That is Chris and Tina. Awesome, amazing people. They're like family to me. I worked with Chris for how many years did we work together before you left? I think it was probably like was it 13 years? 12 years, something like that. Maybe like 12. But yeah, we worked together for a long time. And his wife is just equally as awesome. So I'm super happy to be able to say I know you guys and can hold you near and dear to my heart. You guys are amazing. Love and miss you guys. Thank you for popping in. A long time, right? So I've known you for a total of 17. I know that for sure. Hey Hachi, how are you? How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we have Anchor here on the bottom of the deck, of the next deck that we're reading from, which is the Lenormand deck. So what I'm picking up on is a greater sense of stability. You know, you guys have learned how to come to a place of independence and focusing on your overall happiness, that safe space that you're creating for yourself rather than, you know, focusing on everybody else. And, you know, there could be some good news getting ready to come towards some of you with this Stork card here on the top. I would love to hear something about good news. Maybe something about finances could be coming in. Something about home. Or maybe you're just in this place of, you know, you're in a good energy when it comes to stability and home life. Somebody could be getting ready to hear something about home, though. Not sure what that is yet, but we shall see. All right. Let's get like 3 to 4 cards from here. Like so, we're gonna keep this one a little bit shorter. I think I say that now, but still ends up being long reading. That's just how I read. I'm sorry, but yeah. Let's see what Spirit's got to say. We have key here. Getting like key to success, key to happiness. You possess that key. You might be receiving a key to a home. Remember, we keep getting this energy of like home life kind of thing popping in throughout this reading. So it could be something about that. We have dog here, so there could be an energy of something about loyalty involved as well. Maybe even being very loyal to yourself. Getting, staying the course and recognizing there's something that I want and I have to go after. I'm going to work on achieving that. So some of you guys might keep on getting something about home. So some people might be getting ready to move into a new home, or there could be just more stability within your home, like, you know, more job opportunities, things like that. Getting something like that. Hey Joy, what's up, love? How you doing, mamas? Guys, check out my girl right here. Readings by Spiritualist Joy. That is one of my homies right there. Check her out. One of the spiritual homies right there. She's awesome. We also have mice here on the top. Yeah, people like to, you know, chit chat. They like to talk, right? But you know, stay loyal to yourself. Focus on the people who are also loyal to you, right? So, you know, people, they chit chat, they gossip, they do those different things. But just know that you can honor yourself in the process, is what I'm getting, as you rebuild yourself up, is what I'm kind of picking up on so far. Are you serious? Oh, girl, we need to talk. We have Clover. Look at that. Like, luck is on your side. I love that. Yes, and it's because you've been remaining loyal to yourself. You're like, man, I ain't got time to be worried about everybody else and everything else. And, you know, all these transactional relationships in my life where people act like they want one thing and they want something else and all this bullshit. Like, you're like, yeah, no. If you're disturbing my peace, you got to go. It's giving me that. And I'm definitely getting something like with relationships, like romantic partnerships mostly, but it could also be, you know, just in different areas of life, of course. Take the messages as they resonate. But the main premise that we've been picking up on is, you know, just, you know, you gaining that sense of independence and focusing on your own happiness, not worried about other people and what they portray to be something that they're like, people who portray themselves to be something that they're not. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments or with your reactions. All right, so let's see. Let's get a couple more from here, Spirit. Thank you. Cross. All right, so I'm getting a couple of messages with that. One thing I'm getting is endings. Another thing I'm getting is a fork in the road kind of energy, like maybe feeling a little bit like you're at an impasse where you have to make a choice of some sort. The other thing I'm picking up on is certain things are just not your cross to bear anymore. So, you gotta take the messages as they resonate. But nonetheless, all of those things still kind of come back to an ending of some sort. I'm also getting this energy of relying on, source, the higher power, whatever you believe in, to help you along the way. The more that you allow for something, bigger than yourself to come in and help, bring you that sense of clarity and strength throughout those tough times, right? Again, whatever you believe in. Allow for the Most High to be able to help you navigate this part of the journey, right? Giving you that sense of clarity about what it is that you're meant to do at this time, and again, that sense of strength too, because certain things we hold on to and it's not even ours to carry anymore. Let the Most High help you and guide you, as long as you're doing the work, right? Like, you can't just be like, oh God, please help me with all these things, and you just throw everything at God. Like, it doesn't work like that. You gotta be doing the work. Okay. You have to put in the effort. So yeah, there is that energy of that I'm picking up on. Like, don't be one of those folks who, like, I'm just gonna leave it to God. I'm gonna leave it to God. Okay, God can do everything, right? However, we also have to be very, very, very mindful of the fact that while the Most High has the ultimate say in things, we can't sit there and be like, oh, and this is just my opinion, we cannot sit there and be those individuals who just say, oh, I'm just gonna leave it to God, I'm gonna leave it to God. Okay, yeah, but you have to also do the fucking work. You see what I'm saying? Like, you cannot, that's not fair, right? Like, you have to put in the effort. We have free will. There are things that we are able to do to try to work on our circumstances, right? And like I said, the Most High looks like different things for different people. That's why I don't say one particular doctrine or anything like that. It could be God, it could be Jesus, it could be whatever you believe in, the universe, your ancestors, nature, the stars, right? Like, whatever you believe in. And one thing I won't do is, push beliefs onto anybody or anything like that. But look at that. Now, I did not look at the bottom of this deck at all. Y'all saw me looking at you and you saw me looking over here. I did not see this. This is on the bottom of the deck. I said I'm picking up on crossroads, meaning like a choice to be made. And crossroads is on the bottom of the deck. I kid you not, I did not see this until just now. What in the hell? What's on the top of the deck? Yeah, the stars guiding you. Wow, the stars are guiding you where you need to go. And it'll allow for a greater sense of stability. Wow, that's fucking crazy, man. But again, we do have free will. I'm inclined to see what's underneath this crossroads card. What is it? The moon, yeah. Sometimes, in those darker times of our lives, our fears and anxieties get the best of us. And we're just like, we're stuck, right? We're like, I don't know what to do. But the thing is, when we allow ourselves to surrender control, just a tad, doesn't mean that we're letting everything go and saying, oh yeah, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do any work. Not that. You've done the work. And now you need a little bit of, guidance, right? Big difference, You can't be sitting there doing some fuck shit and then be like, oh, well, God's just going to take care of it. Like, no. Doesn't work like that. Oh, I'm just going to, go fuck mad bitches and have mad kids. God's gonna take care of it. I don't have to worry about child support. No, it doesn't work like that. Oh, I'm gonna just be a hoe and have a bunch of kids, keep spreading my legs. I'm just gonna get all these WIC checks and stuff like that. And, Section 8 got me. Like, bitch, no, it don't work like that. Or oh, I'm gonna be drinking and driving and shit and keep crashing up cars and not have to worry about a DUI. Like, no, nigga, like you gotta make good choices, right? Like, it's about being able to make good choices, do the things that we're meant to do or that we're being called to do. But sometimes we just need a little bit of guidance. Spirit wants to make sure they put some emphasis on that. Because Lord knows people are a piece of work with that shit. I'm sorry, like, man, y'all can't be for real. Like, stop. Yeah, exactly. That's right, Joy. My goodness, you are crazy. All right, let's get like one to two more cards from here, Spirit, and then we're gonna pull some tarot as well. Then we're gonna pull some questions. Not questions. Some energy just for healing purposes. I do feel like some of us might need a little bit of healing right now. I said earlier before I like really started this reading, I was drawn to this deck because before I even did the reading, I was on the phone with my girl Allie from Phoenix Priestess. If you scroll up, you'll see her name. Um, but yeah, like she we were talking on the phone, and then my daughter here, Ren, my cat, she knocked over that deck. I'm like, huh. And I knew I wanted to probably go live today, but I was like, I guess it's confirmation that my black ass is going on live. um, but yes, all of that to be, to say that I do feel drawn to those. So we're gonna get a little bit of healing messages as well as some from source, messages from source, and maybe just a little bit of extra advice. Just here in the 3D, right? All right, let's get a couple from here. Got whipped here. So y'all know she gonna make her little presence known. She's like, "Oh, you said my name. Say less. I'm gonna have to show up now." Little butthead. I can't with her. But yes, there are experiences that are very painful sometimes that we, endure, and we're like, God damn. You know what I mean? When are things gonna get better? Like, when am I gonna get to this, right? The sense of serendipity. When am I gonna get to my milk and honey? But there's a lot of healing that still needs to be done, right? This sense of regenerating. So I do feel like Spirit is just saying, you have the key to that, right? But it's just about being able to recognize the things that need to be let go of, the fact that you have free will and choices to make, and allowing for, again, the Most High to come in and help along the way as long as you're doing the work. Yeah, don't don't let your judgment be clouded, is what I'm getting, because sometimes we have our heads up in the clouds and we're like, oh yeah, whether it's our emotions or something, or our thoughts, and it could get a little clouded up there. Just make sure that we try to keep a clear head and a clear heart to navigate these experiences. Allow our feelings to be our feelings. Feel them. That's okay. But don't be clouded by them. Don't let your judgment be clouded by them. Or our thoughts, right? Our thoughts are our thoughts. Write them out. Allow yourself to, navigate that. It's okay. But just don't stay stuck in it. That's what I'm kind of getting right now. 28 when I said that. Yeah. We have Scythe here. That's about cutting painful endings, right? It's cutting things out that are not easy to cut out, cutting out that pain, right? Those old wounds that no longer serve a purpose. How do you move about that situation, right? We have Lily here. It gives me this energy of like clarity and purity. I love lilies. They're so pretty. Kind of stuck on this card a little bit, my bad. But yeah, it's definitely giving like this energy of just like purity is the main thing I'm getting, right? It's like just cleansing, almost like cleansing yourself and ridding yourself of that old stagnant painful energy. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there. That's why we keep going back to that free will energy. Alright, so I feel inclined to read from this particular tarot deck. Let's see. I'm getting maybe a little 5 card spread, not too crazy. So before I even do anything, we have on the bottom of the deck the Chariot. That's about, successful completion and moving forward. What's on the top? The Fool. I kid you not. Wow. How many times did we see coming to the edge, and we talked about that Fool, right? Taking that leap of faith, middle of the deck, and Nine of Pentacles. You can't make it up even if you wanted to. I could probably not even have to read any more fucking cards from the damn tarot, just based on the cards that showed up, because all that energy showed up in this reading already. But we're gonna still go. We're gonna keep it rocking, keep it rolling. All right, so let's see. Like I said, I'm feeling drawn to like a 5-card spread, and then after that we'll read from some more oracle decks, just for some like extra advice and stuff like that, for healing and stuff like that, and that's just one source, and just some other advice that Spirit wants you guys to know this time. All right, so let's see what Spirit's got to say after we do a couple more shuffles. All right, what we got here? Ooh, Ace of Cups. I like that. That's nice. New beginnings in love, or just this greater overall sense of like happiness and overpouring and overabundance of happiness. 6 of Wands. Victory, baby. Successful. You guys did something. I think you guys have taken charge and authority over your lives with this Emperor here. You're like, I'm not about to sit here and keep on waiting for somebody else to make shit happen for you. I'm gonna make it happen for myself. That's what I'm getting. And we did talk about like kind of taking charge earlier, like not waiting for things to just happen. Let 3131, allowing yourself to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this for me. I'm gonna do this for myself. You guys are learning that. It's not about chasing the happiness. It's about attracting it through your actions. How are you, like, do your behaviors and whatnot indicate that to the Most High, the universe, so on and so forth, that's what you want. Sometimes we say that we want certain things, but our actions don't line up with it. Oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, but you're eating cheeseburgers and fucking onion rings and chili cheese fries. Those are all things that I like, so I can see these things. And yes, I would like to lose at least 20 pounds, but the point is, do your actions line up with what you're saying you want? Sometimes we have to ask ourselves those questions. And that's why they're saying, there are certain parts where you have control and there's some parts where you don't, and it's okay to, leave some parts of what you're facing up to the Most High throughout your battles and challenges. If that makes sense. All right, so let's get, about to say the overall energy. Okay. So we've got 2 cards that came out. I barely was able to ask a goddamn question. It was like, oh, we're just going to do this. Okay, I see you, Spirit. So we have 2 of Pentacles. I said 2 of Pentacles. Maybe, because I'm asking overall energy, which sometimes can involve past energy. Maybe you were being juggled in a past relationship. Only take the messages if they resonate. But I'm trying to say 2 of Cups, but they're like, nah, bitch. 2 of Pentacles. That's about juggling. So, okay, say less. But we have the 2 of Cups here. And it came out along with the Page of Cups. So I'm getting that somebody might have experienced something where they might have been getting juggled. Because I did hear, I was trying to say 2 of Cups. They said, they were very clear, they like 2 of Pentacles. I'm like, okay, say less. You might have been juggled when you were in a connection. AKA meaning, they were entertaining other people and stuff like that. If this is your message. And they might have been coming up with apologies and stuff like that. Yeah. But you got something new getting ready to come towards you. Like, not this little bullshit offer, but something real. Ace of Cups. Like, all cups energy showing up so far from the tarot. Like, not little bullshit stuff, but real stuff. Yeah. That wheel is turning in a new direction. I feel like you guys just had to learn some type of lessons of some sort, whatever that lesson was. whether it was your own self-respect or self-love, whatever the case, but you had to learn something. You had some free will here, and you had a choice to make, and you made that choice, or you're in the process at the very least. And now that person might try to come back around and offer some type of fake ass bullshit apology. They could be an earth sign. Again, only take the messages if they resonate. But yeah, they could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. Um, doesn't have to be their sign, but it could also be like this is somebody who might be just overall mostly stable, or that's how they present themselves. Like somebody who seems like they have their shit together. But the thing is, this person, how sincere are they when it comes to this offer? Because coming in with a page of cups, that's bullshit. We're not children. So little sweet nothings and stuff like that ain't gonna cut it. Especially if you're trying to spin the block. 35, 35. Like, it's giving like 35 adds up to 8. It's giving me like 8 of cups energy. You walked away, possibly. And like, you're like, you little stupid gestures are not gonna do anything to change what has already happened, because you're like, no, I don't want this. It's giving me something like that. But again, you're in that sense of preparation for the real shit, not the bullshit, is what I'm getting. Again, only take the messages as they resonate. What is the... I'm also getting this energy that, again, we said it earlier in the reading, but like this energy that you guys are happy on your own. Like you don't need anybody. You know, maybe you've been like that codependent person in the past. Like now you're like, you're okay in your own peace and quiet and safe space that you've created for yourself. I said that way early in the week. That's one of the first messages that I picked up on. So again, let me know if that resonates. All right, what is the incoming energy for the collective? What do they need to know at this time, Spirit? That's a lot of cards, and we're not gonna take all of them. But what do we have here? I mean, it aligns with exactly everything we just said, though. 7 of Pentacles, wasting time. 3 of Swords, heartbreak. Queen of Swords, fuck that shit, you're out. You're not playing these games anymore. Someone wants to come in with communication with this Page of Wands, and there's already been a Tower moment. You're like, fuck that shit. Let the chips fall where they may. It's over. It's done. Is what I'm getting. Hey Joyce, how are you? Welcome, welcome, my love. Alright. And like I was like, damn, should I just take these cards? But nah, if those cards are meant to come out, they'll still come out regardless. Or the narrative will still be the same. But let's see what the incoming is. Could also be like a warning almost that like somebody's about to try to come, you know, with communication. They might feel very optimistic that things are going to be all super great, and they're like, yeah, no. It won't be, because you're in a different place than where they are. And yes, Joyce, this is a collective, my love. We have the 2 of Pentacles, which is what I picked up before. Remember, I was like, when that 2 of Cups came out, I was like, I'm picking up on 2 of Pentacles, and now that it's officially here. So I'm getting somebody who juggled you before is going to try to come back. And the reason why they want to come back in particular is because they see you are doing great by yourself. 9 of Cups. They don't want to see you happy without them. They're like, oh no, absolutely not. And this is you. So this card showed up before, right? Like, you know, it was one of those cards that was like in that like pile of like, what was it, like 5 cards or some shit. I was like, no, I'm not taking all, that's too many. But like, you guys are like, fuck I look like? Basically. Very, very stoic. And really intentional too. Like, you guys know exactly what it is that you want. You're like, I don't want that. That's it. I'm done. Yep. You've got other things going to come towards you. And you're like, I'm not about to sit here and mess up and block my blessings by going backwards to somebody who treated me like shit. For what? You put me in a place of lack. You put me in a place of feeling bad about myself and blah, blah. Like, the thing is, like, when you deal with a person who is not on the same vibration as you, oh, man, you'll see it in your life. You'll see it. All the things start to fall apart around you. You will be just fine. And all of a sudden, all these things are happening in your life. And you're like, what the fuck? I wasn't like this before. What is happening? Been there. karmic relationships in particular, like you'll just be like, damn, and then you have to, you have to learn those lessons. You'll keep on repeating those lessons until you learn them. That's the thing. So I'm getting this from Spirit too. They're like, ask yourself the question: do you tend to attract the same kind of people over and over again? It doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be in different areas of your life. Do you attract the same types of friends? Do you keep on repeating the same cycles with your family members? Romance, work. You keep on going to the same bullshit jobs, and every time you stay there just for a little bit because you're fucking miserable, and you're like, I can't stay here. I don't like it. Or you stay too long at a job, and you keep repeating that pattern. Depends on your circumstances. Take the messages as they resonate. It is a collective, but ask yourself, why do I keep repeating these patterns? I do need to do like a karmic lesson reading soon. I've been getting called to do that lately, and I haven't done it yet. That's going to be one of the next readings I'm going to do soon. But whew, they had a mouthful on that one. They were like, we got to say this. I'm like, okay, here you Spirit. And I feel it too. I'm like, God damn, I'm trying to catch my breath. They're like, nope, just get the message out. I'm like, okay, I got you. But yeah, they're like, you want to be happy, but then you keep on allowing yourself to stay in situations that aren't making you happy. Like, it's one of those make it make sense kind of things. Spirit, sometimes they be like, yo, I might have to hear this. Oh, they be cussing me out all the time when I do my own readings on myself. I'll be like, damn, shit. And then like my ears start hurting and shit and all kind of stuff. Be having all these palpitations and shit. My stomach start hurting. I mean, it happens out here too. Y'all seen it. But it's like damn, take it easy on me. I'm delivering a message to myself. Y'all doing too much. They like, nah, but you need to hear this. It's one thing when you're delivering it to the collective, but not you. This is for you. We're gonna give you all the ass whoopings because you should know better. I'm like, god damn, okay, say less. Shit. Alright, what is the challenge here? What's the challenge? When we check if like the devil or yeah. Got it. So the challenge for you guys is we have the sun here. I'll give you what my synopsis is of these cards as they come out. We also have the Six of Pentacles. Those came out together. So let's see what the other cards accompanying it are. The Three of Wands on the bottom, Page of Wands, and Seven of Swords in reverse. I actually like that's in reverse. So that shows that you guys are starting to grow. I'm getting like this energy of being, hopelessly optimistic sometimes. Like you guys might have this challenge when like you try to see the good in people too much. And it puts you in a position where and we talked about that exchange, right, of give and take. It'll look good on paper, like, oh, okay, yeah, there's a lot of equal give and take in this partnership, and then you realize later, like, no, it was always one-sided. You're overly generous, and again, you like to see the better parts of people, and that can become a challenge. So you have to start to look at things a little bit with a different lens is what I'm kind of picking up on. Yeah, I think you guys are in that process with like this Seven of Swords in the middle of the deck here in the reverse. You're seeing the truth now, which is allowing you to distance yourself. Because we also have, and this is where I was getting that sense of false optimism as well with the Page of Wands here on the top. On the bottom we had the that Three of Wands. That's about like you're learning that you have to distance yourself from the things that no longer serve, which is a good thing. You're starting to see things differently, I feel. Yeah, a lot of what you've been feeling and or seeing have caused you to feel a sense of confusion with the Seven of Cups right underneath the Three of Wands. So I think that it took a while for you to get to this point of seeing things for what they are. And this is an energy this is not new. Like this energy's been showing up a lot with the collective readings. So I think you guys are just kind of at this point where you're starting to see things more truthfully. You're seeing kind of beyond the veil, right? Telling yourself the truth and allowing yourself to hear the truth too. Very interesting. And that goes back to like this key, right? You hold the key to that. You don't have to stay where you at. You can allow yourself to see things differently. But you have to take the visor off, the rose-colored lenses. How can the collective overcome this challenge? If this is their story, of course. Getting emotional regulation is going to be important. Queen of Cups is here. Emotional regulation. Yeah. Maybe you felt like a sense of rejection and things like that at one point in time. You have Four of Cups here on the bottom of the deck. Sense of like apathy and stuff like that. But now you're realizing, well, in order to feel good, I have to, do the work, which means I have to allow myself to feel what it is that I want to feel. If I want to feel good, I have to allow that to happen. I can't stay stuck in a place of feeling like poop all the time. I have to allow myself to regulate my emotions and my feelings. And it makes sense with the star here on the top. That's all about emotional balance and just harmony within yourself, as well as a sense of healing, right? So, yeah, you're working on your sense of renewal, positivity, faith, all these really, really great things. So, understanding balancing those emotions is what I'm getting. Yeah, turn that wheel around. You have the power to do that. Again, if you're doing the same thing the same way over and over again, what is that? Expecting different results. What is that? Insanity. You can't do that anymore. And I think you guys are recognizing that. Tell us more. What's going on behind the scenes that the collective might not know at this time. Okay. All right. So we have the Four of Pentacles. And we're asking, what are we letting go of? Or not what we're letting go of. What's going on behind the scenes? What I'm getting is they want you to know the importance of releasing and letting go. You can't hold on anymore. Yeah. Don't hold on to the sadness, the loss, or at least what you perceive to be a loss. Yeah. You walked away. You walked away for a reason. They want you to know that you walked away from all the things that were hurting you. And while it might have been a painful sacrifice to make, it was exactly what was necessary to go to the next phase of your life. Yep, look. A sacrifice. The Hanged Man here in the middle of the deck. You had to make a sacrifice. You had to release and surrender control. And they're like, we have your back. You're not doing this alone. But you do have to do your part too. Right? And we talked about that already. Spirit definitely gave a little bit of a little verbal thrashing there. I'm like, okay, damn, they're gonna end up just all leaving the reading because they're gonna be like, damn, bitch, you seem so, mean about it. Like, I still try to deliver the message in a nice way. But that's what Spirit said. They're like, we gotta whip your ass into shape. Okay? Yeah. But again, it comes down to free will and things like that too. Alright, so what is the likely outcome? Okay. Got two cards that came out. And it makes sense because I called it. I was like, I feel the devil energy getting ready to come out in this reading somewhere. And it, lo and behold, it is here. And it came out with the King of Swords. So, they came out together. What I'm getting is being able to see the truth behind your patterns. Being able to recognize, and that's why they said pain, like I kept hearing painful sacrifice. When you start to realize there are certain things and there's a light shed on the things that, need to be let go of, your own patterns and things like that. The things that you might be bound to that no longer serve. They never really technically served anyway, but they were a place of comfort possibly for you at different points in time. You're starting to recognize, okay, yeah, no, I can't stay there. You're getting clear with your intentions. You're getting clear with what it is that you're meant to do and the things you're meant to cut out, including toxicities. So you're doing what is necessary. You're going to do what's necessary, right? Getting that sense of confidence within yourself to say, you know what? This is not an easy choice to make, but I know it's necessary in order for me to be in a place of, no longer in a place of lack, no longer entertaining certain situations or people that have depleted me. I can be self-reliant and, independent, and not focus on other people or situations that are making me feel a sense of false security is what I'm getting. Yeah, and it will cause some inner conflict, and you might have even external conflict too, and that's okay. Because fuck them with this Five of Wands. They could kiss your ass, but at the end of the day, you're realizing, okay, I don't want to stay in these circumstances anymore. I deserve better. And guess what? You are being recognized for your hard work. You're being recognized for this. Some of you guys might have heavy fire in your chart. Let me know if that resonates. But yeah, so now we're gonna, as we're talking about, regulating emotions and feelings and shit. Well, now, spirit, brought me to this deck for a reason. I said it earlier a couple of times, but my cat, I was on the phone with my girl, and she knocked this deck over onto the floor, and I was like, I guess I knew I was going to read anyway, or at least I felt like I was going to, but I didn't know what it was going to be about, and I didn't know what cards I was going to pull from or anything. And this was one of the decks that Spirit was like, that's what we're going to read about or from or whatever. And I was like, okay. And we talked about emotional regulation, so let's talk about how we heal our feelings. All right, so let's split the deck. What we got? The Sirens. Use your voice, expansion, and freedom, along with metamorphosis. Embrace transformation. Things are now different. Yeah, being able to, be fully expressive about what it is that you require at this time, what you need. Your needs matter, and being able to honor that. It's a part of regulating your emotions. Shuffling, and they were like, we want this card. What is this? We're gonna take it. Let it rain. Allowing what is, inevitability, and trust. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. That makes so much sense. Like I was just shuffling, and that card just went. Whoop. I was like, okay, say less. But yep. Understanding that you gotta let things be. You gotta call a spade sometimes. And Spirit is going to keep on pushing you and nudging you until you fucking do it and make the decision. Because there's only so much they can do, right? They'll keep telling you. They'll be like, you'll be listening and you'll hear it and you'll be like, oh, okay, Spirit, whatever. That was the biggest red flag ever, but it's fine. Is it really a red flag or was it a green flag? We're just going to look over here like they're like, bitch. Stop it. But yeah, Ren is the spiritual kitty. She really is. Hey, baby. He's right here taking a nap right next to me. Alright. A couple more shuffles. Alright, so we have into the unknown, underworld, depth, courage, facing your fears. So this is kind of going back to essentially the Fool card, when we talked about the Fool card earlier more than once. So, it's kind of like just entering into like the abyss. You're like, I have no idea what's going to come from all of this. It's uncomfortable. Hey, Claire, how are you? You don't know what's going to happen. It's uncomfortable, and you're like, ugh. But it's a part of the challenge. It's a part of the growing process. Gotta do what you gotta do. Spirit's gonna keep on nudging you until you do it. We have to immerse yourself here on the top. Training, learning, new hobbies, and passions. Yeah, sometimes you gotta just, let yourself, the word here is immerse. I keep hearing submerge. Submerge yourself into the light that they are trying to bestow upon you. Like they're giving you that clarity. You just have to listen. They're guiding you for a reason. Gentle force. It says consistency, persistence, patience, the long game. So yeah, that gentle force. That's like, go ahead, do it. But again, you have to be willing to listen. All right, let's get like 2 to 3 more. Let's do two more from here. The power of 2. All right, thanks, Teen and Chris. I love you guys. I love and miss y'all. You guys are awesome. Thank you for popping in. I hope to see you guys soon. We gotta figure something out. I don't leave the house, so that's kind of the problem. I always say, "Oh yeah, I gotta see." I say it to my cousins. I say that to everybody. I gotta see you. And my black ass stays in the house, so I gotta work on that. She who flows, ease, being open to change, go with the flow of life. Exactly. Yes. Go with the flow. Change is hard. It's not easy. And how many times did we see the number five or energy of that number five show up earlier? Several times, back to back too. Um, if you were to watch it from the beginning, we have that energy of the number five show up multiple times, which is all about change. So they're just letting you know, like, again, I say it on here all the time, and I know it's so cliche, but sometimes, to see the change, you got to be the change. Spirit said it. We have the wellspring here on the bottom. What are you thirsty for? Body care. Take a breath. So I'm also kind of getting this energy of following what your body is telling you to. Like, and we talked about this last night on the other reading that I did, and we talked about it last night. I think we talked about it on another reading too recently. When your body is telling you something feels off about certain situations or people and stuff, yeah, damn. Two readings in a row that talked really, really strongly about that. Last night last night's reading talked about it, but there was a reading, I think it was Saturday night, that talked really, really deeply about it. Like literally I was like having heart palpitations and stuff. I think my head started hurting. Like a lot of stuff was going on, and I'm like, yeah, Spirit wants you guys to know the importance of listening to your body. Our bodies are like antennas, and they allow for us to be able to feel the energies that we need to feel and process in order to be able to recognize what is not good for us. So when you have high anxiety in certain situations or around certain people, especially if it's repeated, we're not talking about like your general like social anxiety. That's neither here nor there. But when you are around certain people or certain circumstances and whatnot, and you always feel off, your body's telling you that for a reason. So Spirit wants me to put that out there. But the other thing I'm getting is just listening to your body as a whole. If you feel like your energy has been off, like you feel like you've been sleeping a lot, and you're like, I sleep all, I've been sleeping, but I can't get any restorative rest. It could be some type of vitamin deficiencies or something like that. Um, Stomach issues, get that checked out. Headaches, get that checked out. Like mouth pain, get that checked out. Pain like up here, these are things I'm feeling now, by the way. Pain like here, it could be something with sinuses, but it could also be something with your teeth. Get that looked at. I'm also getting something about pelvic. I heard pelvic. Pelvic floor is what I'm hearing in particular. For the women in particular, you might want to get that looked at too, especially if you're getting older. I heard hormone. Somebody might need to get their hormone levels looked at, men or women. If you're a guy, you might have low testosterone. If you're a woman, you might have low estrogen. Especially if you're getting older. They made that very clear. They say older. That's the way they're wording it. So I hear the words or phrases, and then they say, or I feel it, and then they're like, oh, da da da. I'm like, oh, okay. So there's something very important about that card. But yeah. Glare, this is just a collective message, my love. Just a collective at this time. But if you would like to stick around for a few more minutes before I wrap everything up, you're more than welcome. But yeah, on the top of the deck we have Ride the Waves, Life Lessons and Growth. You will get through this. I was about to say you got this, but it says you will get through this. So yeah, riding those waves of life, right? We just kind of go with the ebbs and flows, and honor it. It's a part of the process. Even the painful things that we have to, learn how to adapt to and things like that. There's always a lesson there. There's always something that's worthwhile. So keep that in mind. The pearl here, exactly. Alchemy, the reward at the end, from grit to grace. Exactly. So, sometimes our painful experiences are the things that allow for us to kind of shine through, right? How our diamonds forms, right? How our pearls forms. So, you know, the process ain't always gonna be pretty, but the end result, dope as fuck, bro. So, yeah, don't forget. All right. So we're gonna read now from the Sacred Light Oracle. And then we have one more deck to read from, and that'll be the end of the reading. So we got here in a split. Cathedral of Light, stubborn attitudes, extending the olive branch, and artistry. So some of you guys might be very fucking stubborn, or somebody in your energy is stubborn, or maybe both of you are. We have Golden Light Ray, love and laughter, receiving and giving gifts, which is going back to what we were talking about before, that energy of equal give and take. Passionate projects. They're like take it easy. You might have felt like you've overextended into certain relationships and stuff in your life. Don't be all stoic and super closed off because of it. Allow yourself to take that lesson and just understand who and what you're willing to pour into now. Don't be so cold that you forget the warmth that your heart possesses is what I'm kind of getting. And that's why they were saying something about that sense of emotional regulation, right? Being emotionally balanced. Somebody who's emotionally balanced, they're not just super closed off. They're not aloof. They're just very cautious about how they extend themselves. But once they extend, is what I'm picking up on. Nothing wrong with being a loving and caring person. It's just about who you give to and what you give to. That's what I'm picking up on. Angelic realms, a team effort, clarity, validation, patience. Animals may be very significant for some of you. That could be a way that you communicate with, the divine. They might come through through spirit animals and stuff like that. Interesting. But they're all a part of your team. I like it. Top of the deck. Cosmic wave. New friendships, preparation. We talked about preparation before, and custodians. So yeah, it's time to clean up, right? Clean up to prepare for what it is that you're bringing into your life. Including new partnerships in your life. It says friendships here, but I'm getting partnerships in general. Middle of the deck, we have Dharma Wheel, and we had the Wheel of Fortune show up more than once too. Karmic lessons, peer pressure, moral codes, yeah. And don't let anything or anyone deter you when it comes to continuing to be a moral person, right? Sometimes we get so weakened, here in the flesh, in our 3D selves, where we go through all this different shit, and we're like, I'm gonna be like this fucked up person because I went through a bunch of shit, and it's like, no, that's not how to do it. Spirit's just saying, no, let's not do that. Don't miss out on your good karma by doing fuck shit and hurting other people because you went through some bad shit. No. Let's learn from the lessons, and go from there. Go and glow and grow from there. Okay? Is what I'm getting from Spirit. Alright, we're going to get 2 cards from here, Spirit. And then we'll get 2 more from the last deck, and that'll be the end of the reading. If you're new to the channel and haven't done so already, hit that like button and subscribe, and hit that notification bell as well, so that you know when I'm on, when I'm posting and all that stuff. When I do the free readings and stuff, I don't do them often, but when I do, they're really good, and you want to be on that list, just saying. Yeah, look, so I just talked about karma and all that. Scales of karma. Cycle of disharmony, creating new traditions, unfortunate events. Don't miss out on your good karma by doing fuck shit. Is what they're telling me. They're like, you got the wheel of dharma, and then you got the wheel of karma. So or the scales of karma. So it's like, it could go either way, right? Based on your own reactions and actions, based on what you've been through. Sphere of light is here on the bottom. Healing hands, empathic qualities, animal wisdom. Going back to that animal energy. Some of you guys might really, really have something with animals. Some of you guys might want to be a veterinarian or something, or a vet assistant type of thing. Pretty cool. I heard zoology. Maybe some of you guys want to work at a zoo or something, or a conservation place. Very cool. And you're also natural born healers is what I'm getting to. Very, very cool. And I always love when this happens. I say it every time, but I love when we get like a card that is the cover art. To me, it just has a little bit more significance when that happens. But the card that's here on the top, it says Antakarana, crossing the rainbow bridge, resurrection, coming full circle. It's like kind of giving like a little bit of death and rebirth vibes. So yeah, yeah, crossing that bridge. And as you close out those old cycles, you know, new things come from it, right? And we talked about that rainbow energy earlier too. A couple of different cards were illustrating that. Universal Merkaba is here. A sacred purpose. You have the answer. Yeah, remember I said you hold the key to a lot of things, including knowledge. Keep that in mind. We also have lucid dreaming here too. So you might be getting a lot of weird dreams and stuff, but these dreams might be dreams that you're actually able to control, which is always cool. I'm able to control my dreams too, whether it's through lucid dreaming or like astral projection, which astral projecting is different than dreaming technically, but that's a whole different conversation. Let me know if you guys do that. But yeah, so we do have that. Let's get one more from here. Oh, I love pandas. They're so cute. My girl, I'm gonna miss her. Who I worked with for the past couple of years, the teacher that I was working under, who she's going to a different school, new position. I'm really happy for her. I'm gonna miss her though. We had such a nice flow in our classroom, but it should be happening behind the scenes at work and shit. So she did the right thing. But I am gonna miss her. But anywho, she loves pandas, and if you're ever at a loss of what kind of gift to get her a panda. She loves pandas. All right, so hold on a second, guys. Make sure I didn't make a mistake there. Oh, that's right. So did I miss a card in terms of reading something? But no, I didn't. I read what I needed to read. Because I'm like, did I accidentally put like a card back into the deck? I didn't. Alright, so now we're going to read, for the last messages, we're going to read from the foretell. And yeah, we are going to, ooh, look, before I even do anything, karmic ties here at the top. Wow. You are entangled in a karmic dance, replaying lessons that demand resolution. Look deeper. This connection holds challenge and purpose. That's at the top, and it literally aligns with everything we were just talking about. We have a heavy burden. I was talking about releasing and surrendering, right? It's in the reverse for a reason, though. On the bottom, it says, you are carrying on the unbearable weight of obligations, responsibilities, and inner battles. But hear this, not all loads are yours to bear. And did I not say, if you watched it from earlier in this reading, when I got this card, or when I pulled this card, I should say, I said, that was the last part of the message I received. I was like, one of the parts that I'm picking up on is this cross is not your weight to bear. I literally said that. And look what they say here on the bottom. You can't make this up. You cannot. So, and middle of the deck, we have feeling lost. That's why I was, saying, spirit wants to help guide you, but you have to be willing to accept the guidance, right? Being willing to listen when they try to guide you. It says, not knowing where you're going doesn't mean you're off track. Some of life's important discoveries come when you allow yourself to wander. Yeah, I like that. Another thing too, when I was watching Lati's one of Lati's messages yesterday, I think it was like the earlier message she did yesterday, from Tears and Wheat Tarot show. She was talking about like direction and stuff like that, and where you're headed and stuff like that. And then I started picking up on the song "Do You Know Where You're Going To" by Diana Ross from the Mahogany soundtrack. And I was like, ooh, that seems like a heavy message. So that might be important for somebody. And now I'm channeling it again. Do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Yeah, it's a good song. Damn, I haven't seen that movie in forever. Oh, what we got here? Problem solved. And the funny thing is, going back to that key energy, because this card technically was in the reverse. What's it say? A problem solved. A fog of uncertainty has lifted, revealing the solution you've been looking for. With clarity comes the release of an energetic blockage, allowing you to take action with confidence. We talked about confidence and stuff earlier too. That's interesting. But what does it come right back down to? You have the key. You have the key. All right, let's get 1 to 2 more from here. Thank you. Warning. All right. The road ahead is dark and foreboding, hinting of trials yet to come. This is your opportunity to reevaluate the situation and decide whether or not to proceed. We talked about that. You know, we will be put in positions where we're going to be challenged with, did you learn your fucking lesson? Or did you not? Because, you know, we saw that energy. Like, there's things that, you know, they've tried to warn you about, they've nudged you about things, and you didn't listen. We didn't listen. And it's a part of that death and rebirth vibe too, with that number 13 on there. It's definitely giving like ego death. Realizing, well, shit, maybe I should have listened. All right, so we have a great vision here on the bottom. Hold number 33. Somebody might be a life path number 33. Hold tightly to the wisdom you have for the future. It's a glimpse of what your soul is calling you to create. Trust in its, we talked about trust before. Trust in its importance, nurture it with belief, and take inspired steps to bring it to life. And we talked about inspiration, right? After these periods of feeling lost and, you know, pain and all this different stuff. But what comes with it? Relocation. It could be literal relocation. We talked about that earlier. And for others, it could just be a change that's happening with that number 5 on here, especially. Sometimes, you know, it's just about energetically moving on. Life is calling you to a new location, bringing with it the energy of evolution and greater purpose. This move is guiding you closer to a place that feels like home. And what was the first freaking card of the whole reading? No place like home. I'm just saying. Spirit said it, not me. And middle of the deck, we have unfortunate loss. And we talked about, you know, not every loss is actually a loss. A lot of times it's a lesson or a gain. It doesn't always feel like it like that at the time. That's what I'm getting. You have lost something or someone irreplaceable, and the emptiness is unbearable. As you feel the weight of this loss, let it refine you. Don't let it define you. Don't let it define you. You will emerge with deeper wisdom and resilience. I absolutely love that. And then when I look up, I see 4 people in 11 lights. So 411. What's the info, man? What's the 411, hun? So I'm definitely getting something about that too. So staying in the know, right? Allowing yourself to remain knowledgeable through the process, because again, Spirit is always going to guide you and you know, nudge you, give you the guidance necessary to get through these processes. It's not something that you're going to do on your own, even when it feels like that's exactly how it's going down. That's not what's happening. So yeah. My girl just said, trust yourself. Yep, trust yourself and trust in the divine to help you along the way. You are well equipped. You hold the key of knowledge, power, okay? Understand that there's certain things that are not your cross to bear. Let it go. You have choices here to make is what we're getting, right? So with all that said, lovies, I appreciate all of you guys. If you came in a little bit later and would like to, you know, catch it from the beginning, there was, you know, some pretty good pieces to, you know, pick up on from this reading. So what I am going to do is post this up in a couple of minutes, and then you'll be able to watch it from the beginning if you'd like, or, you know, dibble and dabble throughout the reading if you need. And yeah, catch what you might have missed. And also, if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff, so that you could, you know, again, stay in the know, right? Be a part of it, a part of this this soul tribe that we're building and creating here. Love you guys. And yeah. Oh, also notification bell, also very important, so that you know when I'm on. Never know when I might do one of the free live readings. You just never know. I don't have a time schedule on those at all. It just happens randomly, and when it does, it fills up quick. Just saying. But yeah, we do a little bit of everything on here. You know, love readings, stuff that's more like spiritually based. What does, you know, spirit want you to know? Like last night we were talking about spiritual gifts and how to heighten and strengthen them, how to utilize them. We talked about that last night. So you know, a little bit of everything, right? We laugh, we cry, a little bit of all those things up here, you know. So yeah, I know we are due for one, aren't we? It's had so much stuff going on recently, so I'm trying to, you know, like last week y'all noticed that I wasn't on here as much. Yeah, with the death in the family and all of that, and just other stuff. Like I'm just trying to rebuild, you know. Actually, that service is this weekend. Not looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing my family, but I'm not looking forward to the service. But you know, life, right? Might be life, and but nonetheless, with all that said, um, what are you talking about over there? You like hang it up, ma. Don't start your bullshit. You gonna start crying on the screen? No, I'm fine. Is that what you're trying to say? And then she looked at me like, piece of work she is. Thank you, love. Thank you. I'm feeling better. It's just, you know, still like heaviness, you know. But getting there. Yeah, of course. Yep. That's exactly what she's saying, because she was just chilling. She was taking a nap, and now she's looking at me like, okay, what's up, mom? You've been up there for a while. Hey, you slept almost the whole time that I've been up here, mama. Not the whole time, but a good portion of it. Maybe 45 minutes or so. How's your nap? Hi. Hey, mommy. Hi. Hi. All right, guys. Well, looks like it's time to attend to my daughter. But I love you guys. And until next time, probably a checkup on you guys maybe tomorrow. I'm thinking tomorrow. We'll see what Spirit has to say. But yeah, until next time, I love you. You guys have a great rest of your evening. And you guys take care. Mwah.